Dennis Hastert, once one of the most powerful men in the country and second in line for the presidency, faced a blistering dressing down from an angry federal judge in Chicago today.
Nothing is more stunning than having serial child molester and Speaker of the House in the same sentence.
But at the very moment of that speech, DynCorp was exposed for having been involved in the buying and selling of young women and children. While all of this was going on, DynCorp kept the Pentagon contract to administer the smallpox and anthrax vaccines and is now working on a plague vaccine through the Joint Vaccine Acquisition Program.
I wrote a scathing report entitled "The Corrupt Business of Child Protective Services." Thank you.
Former State Senator Nancy Schaefer and her husband Bruce were found dead today at their Havisham County home.
To receive the adoption incentives or bonuses, local CPS must have more children. They must have more merchandise to sell.
Allegations of prostitution and pedophilia and allegations that those crimes were somehow covered up or not looked into. So the State Department this morning is having to respond to those claims.
That a U.S. ambassador, quote, routinely ditches his protective security detail in order to solicit sexual favors from both prostitutes and minor children.
This concerns the time that Hillary Clinton was Secretary of State.
The memo also notes that 3 members of then Secretary of State Hillary Clinton's security detail, quote, engaged prostitutes while on official trips in Colombia and Russia.
And the allegations are that these investigations were whitewashed, quashed altogether, and that those orders came from high up.
We learned of it from the media, a spokesman for Clinton said, and we don't know anything beyond what's been reported.
A former investigator for the department's inspector general has complained to Congress and the media that the investigations have not been thorough because of the pressure from those high-level officials.
The sad truth is that human trafficking is a real problem plaguing each and every community here in the United States. Enough is enough.
Captured on cell phone video, the chilling moment that rapid gunfire broke out in Alexandria this morning. Among the first to be hit, Republican whip Steve Scalise.
He's drug himself from the dirt infield to the grass outfield. There's a trail of blood. We can't help him. We're helpless. I mean, we've got bats versus rifle.
Scalise's security detail and Capitol Hill Police immediately began.
It was less than 6 months ago that another major internal investigation painted Hillary Clinton's State Department in a negative light. That scathing report on the failed diplomatic security procedures in the aftermath of the Benghazi attack.
What difference at this point does it make?
The bodies of former State Senator Nancy Schaefer and her husband Bruce were found today at their Havisham County home. Investigators say both had been shot.
It has been reported over and over that 6 times as many children die in foster care than in the general public.
Child Protective Services can't say they even had the case because of state privacy laws.
Why is there a right to privacy for 2 children that are down in the sewer?
Ted Weisenberger is on a citizen panel which reviewed hundreds of CPS cases gone wrong, even wrote about it in Sunday's paper.
So did you sexually abuse him? Yes.
This is abuse of power. It is lack of accountability. And it is a growing criminal political phenomenon spreading around the globe.
Preliminarily, it looks to be a murder-suicide. The GBI has 6 agents on the scene, 2 crime scene specialists. There will be a thorough investigation.
There are causes worth losing over. And this is one.